Hey, this is Luke Symes with Salt Strong. Today we're going to be talking about balancing out your spinning gear. We're talking about the rod and the reel and how they interact with each other and what difference does that make. Why should you even care about it? So the overall why is with a properly balanced setup, you're going to be able to fish more efficiently. Especially if you're using lures, you're doing a lot of casting, it is very, very important to balance your gear properly. What you want is when you're holding it naturally, that it's at the equilibrium state. And the good news is that it's very easy to test this out. And how you test it is just find the point where you can balance the rod with one finger. And that's going to be the equilibrium, right? Because at this point, this is going to be where the rod, the gravity isn't forcing the tip or the butt to go one way or the other. So I'm just moving my hand over, and right about, we'll go a little bit further up. So right about here on this setup is the equilibrium. So if I'm holding it right about here, and I basically want my top finger of my top hand to be at this point. So that's basically where I grab it. So that is exactly where I grab it on this setup. It's matched perfectly. So that way, if I'm retrieving a jerkbait, I'm doing the double twitch, I'm not fighting gravity, right? I'm not fighting gravity. Contrary, let me show you a different setup. This one is weighted forward, and I'm not saying weighted forward's bad, but you just have to know. And so this one, you know, obviously this is a heavy lure. Let me get the lure out of there. So this one I have the lure off, so it's not making an impact. And so this one, if I have my finger right now, I have to go about 3 inches above the butt of the rod. This is going to be a weighted forward rod. I don't want to be gripping my rod up here. That's just going to not be natural. So when I'm grabbing it here, I now know that gravity is naturally taking the tip down. And so for this setup, this is my topwater lure setup. I love doing my twitches with the rod tip close to the water. And so this really makes it more efficient to do a tip down retrieve, right? And contrarily, if we want to do a rod tip up retrieve, then we actually want to have more weight on the butt. A lot of these expensive rods, like this is a high-end rod, these expensive rods have very light butts. They try to save weight on the rods. In some cases, again, if you want to have your tip up, that's going to be a problem, especially when you match it with a super light reel like this one. So this G Loomis E6X rod, very light on both sides, especially the butt. And then you pair that up with a light reel like this CI4, this Shimano CI4, that's going to have a weight forward setup. Again, that's not necessarily bad. You just need to make sure that, you know, if I'm going to be fishing all day long with the tip up retrieve, I don't want to use a setup because I'm going to be fighting gravity that whole time. But if I'm using tip down all day with topwater or with anything else, then this is perfect. This is better than anything else because gravity is naturally going to be taking the tip down, which is where I want it. But as far as an overall rod, or like, hey, like just what should I get? It would be something that's weighted neutral. So that way you can pretty much do it all, right? If you want to have tip up, no problem. You're not fighting against gravity. And if you want to do tip down, again, you're not fighting against gravity. And so this would be a good combo. And this is a TFO rod, and it's matched up with the CI4. I also use the Fuego a lot, and it has just a really good, again, balance right at the top of the grip. It has a short grip, and that's basically right where I keep my hand, right where I keep my top finger. And again, now with the retrieve, I want to do a tip up retrieve, no problem at all. Again, this is equilibrium point. And if I want to do a tip down retrieve, no problem at all. All right, well, that's it for now. Just wanted to share that tip. This is something that I overlooked for many years. And once I finally started paying attention to it, I could definitely tell a difference, especially when using artificial lures and we're making a lot of casts. Again, weighted forward or backwards isn't overly bad. It can be great as long as you match it properly to the type of fishing that you're doing. When in doubt, go with an equally weighted setup right there at the top of the grip. That's going to be great. Leave a question down below if you have any. And if you're new to Salt Strong, just know that we're the biggest online fishing club for saltwater anglers, and we have 2 big, bold guarantees. Number 1, we guarantee you're going to be catching more fish in less time after you join. And number 2, we're going to guarantee that you're going to save money on all the tackle you need to go out there and catch inshore slams every trip. So thanks for watching. See you again soon.
There's something about the water that'll give you peace, all by yourself or with your family. Live Salt Strong and wear the light.